Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Chris, and welcome back to Stanley Powerable. In the last episode, I was really depressed about really hurting the narrator's feelings. Now, we are back. And we are
All of his
going...
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and find out what he means by the name, by the girl
doors, he entered
that
the door
she...
on his left. This was not
whatever
the
it
correct
is.
way to
I
the
don't
meeting
know.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, I see
Stanley
it.
felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
What the hell? That was new.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so now let's go across again.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Ooh,
I'm
sure.
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I'm straight.
Someone
Exactly.
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her. Alright.
This is it,
Let's
Stanley.
go.
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
This is weird.
She's been waiting.
The hell?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out.
What is this? What the hell?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
What is happening?
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
What the
Did you actually
fuck?
think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
What the hell, man?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Jesus.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look
the
at him
hell?
there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Yeah.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
That's true.
But
3.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
That is really, like... Man, makes me not feel bad for this
And so he
narrator.
began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Right.
The thought excited him terribly. So, he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
What the fuck?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path.
What the hell?
Maybe, perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I don't know whether to listen to him or not. I mean, I guess I had to, unless I have to wait, like, whatever, how many minutes. I mean, I don't know. This is such a mindfuck of a game. I mean, I knew that going in here, but man, this is something. So I'll go. I guess I'll press the button.
Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley
Please
pushed
die.
and I tried.
My goodness gracious. The papers are gone. What the hell? Ah! My goodness gracious, this game. This game is great. I love this game. This is a lot of fun. Alright. So, we've figured out some things. Let's keep going.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's we'll go through the left door this time. I guess we discovered everything through the right door. Makes sense? I don't know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep, we'll go through there. And we're gonna go through all this, and we're here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Right. Okay. Is there actually like a... Did they explain what happens here on these boards? Because that would be interesting. A little Easter egg to figure out what the hell's happening here. So yeah, that was this game is really I got achievement unlock. You can't jump. I hit the space bar. Everyone is unique. You most of all. That's weird. All right, whatever. This whole game is weird. What am I saying? Broom closet. What the hell?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Alright, guess so. Whatever. Aha!
Coming to a
My
staircase, Stanley
my
walked
next
upstairs
decision.
to his boss's office.
Downstairs. Oh, this is creepy. Oh, this is creepy.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy,
whose car is
why
this?
had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my
no shit.
coworkers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
Cold drinks.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Yeah.
So,
Why
he
not?
imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whee!
Then he
This is fun.
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
That's
and
weird.
Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
That's true.
Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life.
He has nothing.
Exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Ooh. Weird. Nope. Not gonna happen.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh. What the fuck?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the fuck?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Wow. It starts over again. Wow. Just wow. Oh my god. So that's another episode of Stanley Parable. There's a lot more that we need to explore. But man, I love it. I love this game. This is a lot of fun. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching everything. Thus far, we've been going at this for 3 weeks or so, unless Minecraft Story Mode separated these episodes or something. I don't know, but when we return, we'll walk up the stairs this time, and we'll see what other mischief I can get into. So that's that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.